welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to be going back to the Power of the Force 2 line for Star Wars figures, as this year 2015 marks the 20th anniversary from when this line started coming out. So the next few reviews I make will be focused more on that line due to that event. So the first figure we're going to look at for this series is the Luke Skywalker in Hoth Pilot outfit. Before we look at this figure, we'll take a look at the packaging that this one comes in. Like I said, I got this from the local store Fantastic Toys here in Newcastle, and I was able to get this figure in the packaging. Now, as you can see, it's one of the earlier waves, so it's instead of the green packaging that came later, this is the red and black packaging. And what you can notice there is one quite slight flaw, is that this shows the X-Wing pilot Luke from A New Hope, whereas the one included in the pack is actually the Hoth Pilot Luke from Empire Strikes Back. I think kind of made a little mistake there, putting the right character on there. And on the back you've got a character profile about his status and everything, what things about it, as well as other figures available in the waves. Everything else across there is the same thing, but because it says European release, that's just everything else in French and Spanish and stuff. You see, it's quite a good big number of 3 3/4 inch figures here as well. So yeah, so the old style Power of the Force packaging. So now we'll come into the figure. And now one thing I've noticed about this is it's one of those that adopted the previous style of beefed up muscles that most of the Power of the Force 2 figures had, something which was toned down a little bit later on. Now, before you notice is that the Power of the Force 2 figures are pretty much exactly the same as Mission Series and Saga Legends in terms of articulation. I can show you this one as a comparison. The only thing really being is kind of actually sculpted the arms into a certain position so they can stand in a certain stance, compared to Mission Series that are kind of stuck with arms straight. So yeah, the accessories include Luke's lightsaber, which isn't as much detail as it usually is in later waves, being from 95, 96. And he also includes his blaster, which is exactly the same as the usual Han Solo one. And like with most Power of the Force 2 figures, it's massive and just wouldn't fit into a holster if you had one. So I think that was kind of a bit silly to have, but and again, we're supposed really to be aimed at children who'd be playing with them rather than displaying, so it doesn't really make too much sense, too much of a difference. So, and this Luke's figure, the helmet is not removable, so it's kind of welded into the face, unlike the Rebel pilots such as the Dak Ralter in the Black Series and Wedge Antilles in their Hoth Snowspeeder outfit in the upcoming Dutch Vander, which is available on Star Action Figures. And as you can see, there's a lot less detail on the figure than there is in present day. Like, these bits here are all kind of stuck onto the figure, they can't move them at all in any way. And the articulation includes a swivel neck, swivel shoulders and swivel hips. This is the main 5 points of articulation, exactly the same as this. So, however, without this, I believe there was some sort of snowspeeder that was released. The position of his arms actually makes it look like a good position for him to sit and fly in a snowspeeder. So I think this probably looks like a really good figure of the Power of the Force 2 line, but I don't really know, as I wasn't really collecting back then when the Power of the Force was active. So that's it for me. That's all. I'm all oblivious to that. But so I hope you enjoyed looking at Luke Skywalker in his Hoth Pilot outfit, and I will follow some more Power of the Force figures next, and see you then.